Welcome to Beyond the Scar, where we go beyond just recovery after a C section and focus on thriving. I'm your host, Nicole Alfred. Each week, we dive into topics that help you reclaim your strength, balance, and confidence in your post cesarean journey. Today's episode is especially important because it's all about returning to physical activity after a cesarean. We'll look at some of the unique challenges moms face, ways to get started safely, and how to listen to your body as you rebuild that strength again. Plus, we're going to hear about a powerful story from one of my clients, Zarina, who navigated her own journey back to exercise and found balance in the approach that works for her. So let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to Beyond the Scar. Today, we're discussing a question that many of you have been asking. How can I safely get back to exercise after a C-section? So returning to physical activity after a C-section can feel overwhelming, especially if you are spending late nights Googling, checking out TikTok and Instagram and all those videos that really just feels like too much information. Between the desire to get stronger and the worry about hurting yourself or going too fast is common, and it's common to feel a little unsure about how to start. Your body has been through an intense transformation, so it's important to exercise thoughtfully, focusing on functional movement first, core rehabilitation, and most importantly, being kind to yourself as you begin this new chapter in your journey. One of my clients, Zarina, I'd like to share her story. After her C section, Zarina was eager to get back into an active lifestyle that she loved. But every time she tried to do a workout or even walked for more than 10 minutes, she would feel excruciating pain around her back and her incision and some tightness in her core. And this made her question her body and felt very, very frustrated. After 18 months of doctor's visits and exploratory surgeries, to just be told that she had a fibroid, she knew that that was not the cause of all of her symptoms. And she was desperate to get back to some kind of normalcy where she wasn't dealing with pain or feeling twice her age. So instead of pushing through that pain, Zarina took a step back and we started to work together to focus on gentle scar tissue release and some foundational core rehabilitation. Over time, she was able to regain strength and mobility in her body without pain. We adjusted her exercises based on where she was at in her postpartum stage, and she slowly built up more into intense workouts at the gym. Today, Zarina feels stronger and more connected to her body than ever. She always tells me that she wished she had joined sooner in the program. And her journey is going to remind us that listening to your body and taking things one step at a time can make all the difference. And also, your doctor is not always going to know how to help you. And sometimes you have to take things into your own hands. Now, let's talk about some practical steps that you can take as you return to physical activity after a C section. First things first, we are going to start with functional movements. Returning to exercise doesn't mean that you have to jump into these intense workouts. You probably can't actually jump into intense workouts. So, focusing on functional movements, things that make your daily life easier, like lifting your baby without strain, carrying groceries, or even getting out of bed comfortably. Think of these as your foundation. They help you build a pain free, stable core before you progress into more strenuous activities. When I work with clients, they are at various stages in that postpartum journey in those first 2 years postpartum after a C section, and getting your functional movements down packed, understanding what muscles needed for each task that you do throughout the day is important. And for you to be mindful of it is important. And so we're doing this for someone that is 2 weeks postpartum, and we're doing this for someone who is 6 months postpartum. This is where you have to start. Number 2, we are going to focus on scar tissue release and core rehab. So addressing scar tissue and core function early on is key at preventing pain and compensations later. Gently massaging your scar can help reduce stiffness and improve mobility in that area. We're not going to usually start that before the 8-week postpartum mark because the scar is still new and the tissue in your scar is new, and we don't want to cause any complications with openings in your scar. So we want to make sure that scar is fully closed. And you're going to start very gentle and then over time increase deeper and deeper into the deeper layers of that scar tissue. And then we're going to focus on core rehab exercises like gentle pelvic tilts and breathing exercises. These are also crucial for reconnecting you with your abdominal muscles. So when you're not getting right into dead bug or planks or sit ups or anything more intense, you are literally moving your body, reconnecting to your body with your breath. Learning how each part of your core system works is essential. Then we're also going to consider your personal goals. Everyone's reason for returning to exercise is unique. Maybe you're looking to feel stronger, manage your mental health, or gradually work towards weight loss. Whatever your goals are, adjust your expectations according to where you are at in your postpartum journey. Be patient and remember that each step you take is. Lastly, we want to acknowledge your current physical state. This is so important because your body is going through a lot in postpartum. Let's just say that. Factors like producing milk or breastfeeding, sleeping patterns, energy levels, they all play a huge role in the kind of exercise you can safely handle. For instance, if you're producing milk, your body is already expanding so much energy. And if you're not getting much sleep, that can impact your ability to recover properly from your workouts. So tune into what you're doing each day and don't push past your limits. Remember that your physical and emotional well-being are interconnected. So give yourself some grace, definitely celebrate small wins, and let your journey unfold naturally. So, along with structured exercise, there are ways to ease movement into your day without feeling overwhelmed. So you're going to start small and build up. Begin a few minutes of movement, whether it's stretching, a short walk, or light core exercises. Gradually increase the intensity as your body adapts. Remember, this is not a race and you will build strength as you progress. I love using the 5-minute rule, setting a timer on your phone every day for 5 minutes and performing whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's the core exercises, the scar massage, or working on your daily functional movements. This one's a huge one. Let go of the should and focus on what you want. How many times are we always saying, I should do this and I should do that? Stop the shoulds. Right now, we're going to focus on what you want because you're more likely to have success and follow through on the things you want than the things that you think you should be doing. And then a whole cycle of guilt happens after that. So let's just focus on what you want. A lot of us feel like we should be doing certain exercises or hitting specific fitness milestones in postpartum. And instead, focus on what you want, genuinely what you want to do, and what feels good for your body. This mindset shift can make exercise feel like a form of self care rather than an obligation. And that's really important right now because if anything feels too hard, or that you're extending yourself too much right now, you're probably not going to recuperate properly after that and recover. And secondly, you're not going to stick to it. Baby has a couple of sleepless nights, they get sick, you get stressed with work, right? You're not going to stick with it. So remember that these things should be feeling good. And you may have been the person that did, 5, 6 days a week of cardio and weights at the gym before baby comes. And maybe you're just not feeling that. Maybe you're just like, my body doesn't want that right now. It wants walking and connecting to nature and stretching and feeding it good foods and spending time with my baby. That is okay. That is okay. So remember that where you're at in your recovery is going to influence the type of exercise that you get. And incorporate movement throughout the day. Okay. If you can't commit to a full workout, which is normal, that is okay. Small, consistent movements throughout your day can be very effective. Try taking the stairs instead of an elevator, doing a quick stretch in the morning, or setting aside 5 minutes to breathe deeply and engage into your core. Like parking further in the parking lot or, walk to the store instead of drive to the store. Those things can make a huge difference. That doesn't feel like exercise, but it's movement that your body craves and needs to balance your mental, emotional state and help you build that strength back in your body. Let's do a quick wrap up and recap. So, number one, take it slow and start with functional movements that are going to support your daily activities. Number two, focus on core rehabilitation and gentle scar tissue release before moving into higher impact exercises. Number three, adjust your goals based on your unique postpartum journey. And remember that progress is personal. Number four, integrate movement into your days in small ways and prioritize what feels right for you. Getting back to exercise is a journey, and your body will tell you what it needs if you listen closely. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you found these tips helpful as you begin or continue your journey back to physical activity. And remember, if you are feeling stuck in your journey, in your recovery, please reach out to me. I'm going to put a link in the show notes for you to book a free 15-minute C-section recovery assessment call where we will dive deep into getting you a plan and understanding what you need to get to the goals that you desire in your postpartum journey, whether it's less pain, getting back to exercise, or working through birth trauma. And if you are not already, please give us a follow on the streaming platform that you're listening to this episode, and make sure to leave us a review so that we can reach more amazing moms just like you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.